Hey guys, it's LUCIDPIXUL, and I have the honor and the pleasure of introducing you to a product that I feel is revolutionary by a company that I have loved and I've supported for years, Edelkrone. The product I'm going to be sharing with you today is probably one of the most exciting add-ons to the HeadPLUS system, to your existing Edelkrone ecosystem if you're already invested in it. It's this little device right here that you connect, that you mod onto your HeadPLUS or HeadPLUS V2 that gives you the power of face and motion tracking. Multiple faces you can have in the scene and you can motion track them like that. I wanted to mention, for starters, that Edelkrone sent me these items. In fact, they sent me two. The VisionMODULE, right over here, which is a brand new product, and the PowerMODULE, which is a V or gold mount that you can connect cables to and power all of your different Edelkrone devices. And the reason I'm saying all of them is because if you know Edelkrone at all, or if you're not familiar with them, Edelkrone is a brilliant company, because what they do is they've created all of this very, very advanced motion control camera equipment, but it's a modular system. So every single time you add a new device to your system, it brings new value and new functionality, not just to the one device, but to a lot of your other system. In most cases, most of your other stuff, but there are little odd exceptions and stuff like that, which I'll mention. But know that everything that I'm sharing with you, for my own credibility, for my own benefit, for your benefit, and for Edelkrone's benefit, is always going to be honest. So if there's any quirks or bugs or little shortcomings of their products, I'll let you know, and I let them know as well, so that we can all benefit from it, because they listen and they update and they always come up with new amazing stuff. So without further ado, let's get to it. Audio check, good. Camera 1, hello. And camera 2. Hi, I'm Adam. Welcome behind the scenes. So I'm going to walk you through all this equipment, and we're going to set it up from scratch right here in one shot right in front of you. I'm going to show you how freaking easy and powerful this thing is. And if you're into product reviews, talking head videos, live vlogs, there is I hate saying this, I sound so YouTubey when I say this, but the possibilities are pretty endless when it comes to this thing. It's powerful. So I'm going to set you up from scratch, and I'm going to walk you through all the equipment. PowerMODULE, Edelkrone PowerMODULE is a V-mount battery bracket, which is an absolute freaking lifesaver. Before I had this, I literally had to walk around if I was working mobile, taking things out on the road. As much as I love the mobility of being able to hook up batteries, when you've got a lot of devices, you end up with a lot of batteries and a lot of chargers you have to deal with. Now, I only have one battery I need to worry about, and this lasts for days. Days of heavy use, I might add, okay? And usually it's more than you actually need. So there's the PowerMODULE, which comes with 4 detachable, thank you Edelkrone, high quality, yet not too stiff cables. So fantastic. If you ever break one, you can always buy a new one, okay? And this is powering multiple different things. So we have the SliderMODULE V3 and the SliderPLUS Pro, a SliderPLUS V2, which I reviewed right over here. We have the HeadPLUS V2, which I reviewed over here. And today, we're adding the VisionMODULE, which is very exciting. You'll see. You know what? I'm not going to pitch it to you. Just watch for yourself. Okay. So this is going to be powering all of these different devices. I've hooked everything up here for the sake of the HDMI and the cameras, just for the sake of not doing it on camera. It'll take too much time. I don't want to bore you guys to death, but let's get everything set up. So we're going to start by giving some power to the slide module over here. There you go. And then we're going to give 2 of these leads here. There's 4 altogether. One's going to go into the VisionMODULE, and one's going to go into the HeadPLUS V2. And then we're going to hit the buttons, press and hold for a minute. Audible beep. We're good to go. And I'll give it a little bit of slack. Normally I wouldn't have this on the table. It's got a tripod Velcro, very nice robust tripod connection. So this is just for that. But the length of the cables is absolutely perfect. SliderMODULE V3, good to go. Next, in my case, I'm going to use an iPad. You can use an iPhone. You want to go online and you want to go on the App Store and get the Edelkrone app. Okay. And I'm going to open up the app. I'm going to go into the Edelkrone app. At first, when you first set it up for the first time, number one, make sure everything's powered on. Okay. Then you're going to go into manual pairing and make sure everything's been firmware updated. Maybe you've got a new device that isn't recognized yet. Maybe there's a little bit of a tweak to it. You want to make sure to take care of that first. Okay. Note as well, one of the things that I really love about Edelkrone, everything is modular. So every single time you get a new piece of equipment, as I have been collecting these over the years, I'm a huge fan of their stuff. The longer I have this, the better my systems get. They increase in value because when I get the Vision module, this adds functionality to everything. Okay? And note, here's a little side note I didn't even mention. I had an extra lead, so I'm powering my monitor through it. Look at that. So hello me. Okay, so you can power more than just your Edelkrone. It uses its standard DC in as far as that goes. So excelente. So you're going to want to do that. And the second thing you're going to want to do is set up a Wi-Fi connection. So I would go into Vision module on the main page, and it's going to ask you to set up the Wi-Fi connection. You can set up one directly through Edelkrone, which is what I prefer. I just created a connection and called it Edelkrone Vision module. You can call it Bunny Farts if you want to, okay? And a password of your choosing. Then you go back into your Wi-Fi settings. It's already connected. You go back into your Wi-Fi settings on your device, and you're going to connect to it and enter the password you just set. If you forget your password, just go back into the Edelkrone app and add a new password. You can do that on the fly. Okay. What I've noticed is that it immediately connects as soon as I have my Edelkrone my stuff connected. So all of that is set up. The other option, if you prefer, is you can connect to your home network, in which case the advantage of that would be you do not lose Wi-Fi connection on your device. Because if I'm connected to the Edelkrone Wi-Fi, I'm losing connection to my home network. In my particular case, I don't care. I'm perfectly happy. I'm getting my emails through this anyways, so it's not a big deal. But the connection is flawless, crisp, sharp, immediately responsive. I've had zero issues, so I just do it that way. I find it a lot simpler. So I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to go into manual pairing, and you're going to notice if you have the same setup that I've only got two devices registering in the app: Slide Module V3 and HeadPLUS V2. And the reason being is the Slide Module and the SliderPLUS read as a single unit. The HeadPLUS and Vision module also read as a single unit. So essentially what we've done is we've modded the HeadPLUS, okay? So think of it that way. So I'm going to connect to both of these, and I'm going to go pair and connect. Note, for the sake of using the motion tracking, which is the Slide module, okay, the Vision module, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the Vision module using the remote, which I reviewed over here, okay? I use this all the time, but in this particular case, if I'm using the Vision module, you want to use this because you're going to be monitoring your face, you're going to be using the app as a monitor, which works perfectly, and you're going to be using it for tracking. So there you go. Now, when you first connect to the app, I almost dropped this last time I did this, okay? When you first connect to the app, you're not going to notice anything different. This looks exactly the way it does with the HeadPLUS. But right here at the bottom where my finger is, normally it only says target mode. But now it's been switched to target/vision mode. Target mode is something I showcased in my HeadPLUS V2 review, which you can check out right here. Okay, which is you can set targets in the HeadPLUS directly. It has nothing to do with the Vision module. Okay, so this is a feature that comes directly with the HeadPLUS, where you can set multiple different targets, and as it's sliding, you just click on the second target, third target, and it'll switch targets during a slide, which is super awesome. But we're not going to be doing that today. We're doing everything using tracking. Okay, so all of that's going to be done automatically. So I'm going to click on Target Vision, and I'm not going to click Target. I'm going to click Vision. And as soon as I do that, it immediately throws me into the setup process. And the first question it's going to ask is, set pan and tilt as limitless, okay? Which means that it can go in infinite range. Right underneath it in red, it says, not recommended. Why? Well, if you have things like cables, or if you want to limit the range of your shot so you don't accidentally film the exit sign or your boyfriend scratching his ass, you want to make sure the camera stays within a limited range. Okay, so I'm not going to select limitless. I'm just going to go done to skip that. Okay, then it's going to ask me first to set the tilt and the pan. So tilt up and pan to the left. And it's basically it's asking you to set the extremes, the limits. Okay, so up, and in this case, I'm going to go right because it's opposite me. I'm looking at it backwards. And this is a good opportunity for me if I'm using cables like this to check the length of my cables. Now, this is sitting on a desk. Normally I would have this on a tripod, so I wouldn't be wiring things across my desk, although I do use it on my desk too. It's not much of an inconvenience. So I'm setting this to its extreme, making sure I've got enough slack. There we go. And click done. Then I'm going to go down and to the right. As far to the right as I can. So there you go. That's as far as I ever think I'm ever going to need. So I'm giving myself a little bit of extra wiggle room in case I need it, and done. So now I know that no matter how far I push this, it's never going to go beyond the length of my cables, which is excellent. Okay? It's not just going to go off into infinity. So now I'm setting this back towards me, and the last thing it's going to ask you is for the lens, the focal length of your lens. In this case, this is the Sigma 16mm 1.4, and the crop factor. The 16mm, this is on an A64, a Sony A6400, so the Sony APS-C crop factor is 1.5. So you're going to have to enter that in. 16 millimeters, 1.6, and 1.5 for the crop factor. If this is a full frame, just keep it at its default 1.0, and then you click done. Now it's all set. And already, instantly, you'll see right here where my finger is, right over here, a big red button. And you know what we do with big red buttons? We press them, right? So what that says is, actually, let me show it to you. What this is showing is that the face tracking, it sees my face. The red means it sees my face. So if I block it with my arm, watch, it lost my face. Now, it finds it. Look at how bloody responsive that is. Every time, too. I've never had it kind of get glitchy on me. It's worked perfectly. I mean, you could get glitches. I haven't seen any. You know, if it had glitches, who cares, right? But there you go. So that's set. Now, press the red button. Hi. So, I can move to the left. I move to the right, and you can see it's nice and smooth and it's nice and responsive. Now, of course, it's not going to track athletic movement. If I'm playing basketball or dancing or something like that, of course, it's not going to be able to keep up with that. But a regular talking head video, moving around, you notice I'm looking around in different directions, the side of my face, the front of my face. It's having no problem finding it. If I feel it's a little laggy and slow, I can go into lens and tracking, which is at the top middle, and I can increase the responsiveness, make it a little faster. So now it's going to be slightly faster. It's subtle though. It's not too dramatic, but you can see it's a little faster now. Okay? If you find that it actually starts to get a bit janky and jerky, it's probably because you cranked the sensitivity up to full, in which case, take it down a bit. If I feel it's a bit too fast, or if I want to go slower, now, you notice it's a little bit lagging behind my face. That's because I brought it too low, in which case you want to increase it. So I like to keep it at its default middle, or maybe up to the top third or top quarter. So it's a little bit more responsive, but not overly, not too jittery, okay? Now, I've set it to what I want, but here's the catch. I can't see my video feed, nor can I connect my camera to a video feed, but to a monitor, because the HDMI is being taken up by the Vision module. Well, that's where the Vision module kicks in. Right over on the right, it says switch to monitor, and it's going to give me a live video feed instantaneously of my face. And it's a nice crisp feed. Remember, this isn't connected to my home network. This is connected to Edelkrone. Okay? So you can see, I can see a monitor of my face right over here. And if I want to go full screen, here's full screen. Okay? You can see a full screen of me. And I'm moving back and forth like that. Nice full screen, and it's a really nice, rich image. Very important side note. When I first got it, I was connecting it, and I wanted to connect it to the Vision module, and it said HDMI output too high. Please set to 1080p. And I went, oh crap! Does this mean I can only use this in 1080p? No, that's not what it means. It was I read it too fast. You can record your cameras, everything works perfectly in 4K, so you can shoot in 4K. But your HDMI output, meaning the HDMI feed coming through the HDMI cable outside of your camera, needs to be limited to 1080p. Mine by default was set from 1080 to 2190. So just set it to 1080 or anything below it, so 1080, 720, whatever, and you're good to go, okay? So that it has nothing to do with your recording resolution, okay? Now, I like the way it looks, everything's cool, but there's a little catch. I'm not a fan of this composition where you can see a bunch of crap over my head, right? So I'm gonna go back into the app, and I'm going to, where it said monitor mode, it says switch to joystick. And you're gonna use the joystick, and you're gonna see the button doesn't say slide or pan, it says shift face. This is to recompose. So there, I set it down a little bit, switch back to monitor. There we go. Now my eye's on the top third. We're not getting all that awkward headroom. And the really awesome thing about this is Edelkrone has just recomposed my face so the vision module will now maintain my eyes on that top third. It knows where to place my head in the shot.
Nice.
Okay, now all of that is fine and dandy. I switch back to monitor mode, Now I want to add to this. And this is where things, when you start to add up all this functionality, this is where stuff gets really fancy. I want to set some slider positions. So I'm going to turn off face tracking, although you can do it with face tracking active, it's fine. But I'm going to move my slider over to one end, slider position A, press and hold it for a second, over to the other end, like that, slider position B. Now I'm just going to click on both of these and it's going to set a loop shot. Now it's going to start to do a nice gradual side to side. If you've watched my videos at all, everybody always comments on, oh, sorry, face tracking. Now it's face tracking and it's sliding. Ta-da! Okay, yeah, I have buttons over here I have to press. Sorry, I'm a kid. So it's got the shot here. Actually, wait, before I do that, let's recompose instant face tracking. I'm going to recompose so we got a nice switch to joystick. Bring it down. Oh wait, I have to make sure face tracking is on. Then I switch to joystick, shift face, bring it down a little bit, make sure I get a nice composition. Good. Now, click on my two camera positions. Everybody who watches my videos, my book reviews, my talking head videos, anything like that, everybody always comments on how much they enjoy that gentle parallax that's going on. If I have a thing here in the foreground, just to get a better sense of that parallax, okay? Everybody comments on how much they like that and notice when it's missing. When I don't have parallax active, people go, wow, your camera really looks muted. It looks very castrated. It really, a little bit of parallax adds a little bit of life to your shot. Okay, so now I don't only have parallax, but I've also got face tracking going on at the same time. Imagine how this can enhance your show. I'm not promoting this for Edelkrone. I don't owe anything to them. I'm saying this because I'm going to have fun with this. That's what that means, okay? And it works. It's not some janky, buggy thing that ends up being more trouble than it's worth. It works perfectly. So there you go. So I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to show you one more quick thing before we stop this demo. Object tracking. Right next to instant face tracking, I'm going to do object tracking. And immediately it's going to take you to a nice big full screen, and I'll grab an object. So let's grab this remote. Okay, so let's get it in focus. And right on the screen, you're gonna slide and make a selection right on, I'm gonna do right on my iPad or your iPhone, okay? So I got this up close, make a selection around it, make sure not to select the background with it, make sure I've got it in a thing, and yes. Now, it recognizes the remote. Now, of course, it's gonna get out of focus because the autofocus is a very limited range on my camera, okay? And I'm gonna add the slider shot to it. So now it's doing a slider shot, and I can just sit here and do a product review and talk about the product. You remember what I said about Marcus Brownlee and that Marcus has garbage technology? I have best technology right here. It's tracking the remote. I can bring it up closer. If you're looking to get the 60mm 1.4, one of the awesome things about this is that it has really short. Look, I've never had better skin. Like, just gonna move it over here so you can see my gorgeous skin. Look, teenage schoolgirl's complexion. Just get this lens. You're gonna see. Okay, and I can move it down, I can put it down on the table. I can even, if I want to, I can move it around, and just like I did with my face, it doesn't lose track of it. Now, if it loses track of it, it can find it again as soon as it finds it again. So it's looking for it, right? So think about all those cell phone videos where people are going, look at this, you see this? Really nice and close. See? Oh yeah, little note, if you're hearing any motor noise, it's actually not the motor. You're hearing the reverberations through the wooden table. Think about what you can do with this device. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that demonstration. That was a ton of fun to do. At the time of recording this video, Edelkrone has reached out to me and said that they do want to provide me with an affiliate link. But at the time I'm recording this, it's not yet set up. So if you're watching this a little bit more in the future, there's a very good chance that there's an affiliate link, in which case go and check it out below in the description and give yourself a little discount, okay? And I recommend using that. It doesn't cost anything more for you, but it helps support my channel and all the time I put into producing these videos as well. So that would be greatly appreciated. All right, so once again, thank you to Edelkrone. Thank you to you for watching. And if you want to pick up any of these amazing pieces of equipment for yourself, all of the links are down in the description below. All right, happy shopping. Take care.